All right, hello everybody. I am meteorologist Matt Gray, and we have got some very intense bands of snow moving around the inland northwest, and we've had two what the National Weather Service calls snow squall warnings over the past hour. And basically, what that means is the snow bands are intense enough, and the winds in those snow bands intense enough that things basically turn into a whiteout, and you end up with lots of problems, especially if you are on the road. I'm going to move this over onto your screen, and it'll kind of show you a little infographic provided by the Weather Service. And this is mainly a on-the-road type of situation. So we certainly saw that with the snow squall that moved across I-90 about 20 minutes ago, 20, 30 minutes ago. And you may have actually heard that go off on your phone from Spokane Valley all the way into the Coeur d'Alene area. So snow squalls, it's mainly a driving issue because you can't see what's going on in front of you. And in some cases, when these snow squalls become very intense, you basically end up with conditions, at least temporarily, similar to what you would see otherwise in a blizzard. So we do have one snow squall warning that is up right now. It is for the Palouse area. It is for this heavy band of snow that is moving through Colfax right now, Garfield, Tico, and is going to be moving into the Plummer and St. Mary's area. De Smet is also going to be in this as well. So it's from this heavy band on Highway 27 to the Tico area, Oakdale, Garfield, down Highway 27. In Palouse right now, there is some stuff that I've seen where we are seeing some pretty heavy snow in the Palouse area as well, even if it isn't showing up on the radar right at this minute. And then in Colfax, we're also seeing that heavy snow as well. You got a second band that's moved past Podlatch, which is on Highway 6 in Idaho. That's tracking into the mountains here, and we'll cross Highway 3 over the next hour. St. Mary's also seeing some pretty heavy snow here as well. So a lot of these snow bands are really dumping down the heavy stuff when they roll by. Thankfully, things are looking a little bit calmer, at least for now, as you look out into central Washington. But we have seen these bands, as they approach the mountains in North Idaho, start to kind of pull themselves together. How much snow for Meade and Colbert? We seem to have missed all the snow this weekend. Yeah, very hit or miss with some of these snow bands. But if you get under one of these, you'll pick up likely a quick inch or so of snowfall. The later it gets tonight, the less likely some of these snow showers will be. So I would expect more snowy weather on the Idaho side than the Washington side as we head through the rest of the evening. As you can kind of see right now, a lot of these snow bands. In fact, we're still watching the one that was moving across I-90. It is still pretty snowy between Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls. If you perhaps have some plans for this evening on the roads, I would wait just a little bit right now. If you're planning to head out the door shortly, I would wait just a little bit and give the plow crews a chance to do some work after the very intense snowfall up and down I-90 in the metro over the past hour, especially from the valley through Liberty Lake, Post Falls, and then into Coeur d'Alene. Same goes for Highway 95, as the snow has been quite heavy here over the past hour. And so it is going to be a little difficult on the roads in many parts of Kootenai County as the snow continues. I'm going to put this into animation and kind of give you an idea of what it's been over the past hour and how fast these things are moving. So here was that heavy snow band that prompted the first snow squall warning in the Spokane area that you may have heard on your phones. So that snow now moving into Rathdrum, but you notice it's a little bit weaker than it was when it was right up along I-90. Is Spokane Valley going to get more snow today? We do have this shower that just went through Spangle, so this is coming over the mountain right now, so we will see at least a little bit more snow in Spokane Valley before the day is over, and I expect that there's going to be more bands of snow that come in from time to time. Perhaps not as intense as the one that we saw about a half hour ago, but certainly going to see more chances for snow as we come along here. You can see how fast some of these heavier snow bands are moving. You got this one and this one here. I'll put on the telestreet so you guys can see. So you got this band and you got this band here. That's the current snow squall warning around the Palouse region. Mostly this is north of Pullman, although we are going to see snow in the next 30 minutes track through Pullman and Moscow. Heard 1 to 3 inches of snow for Spokane. Is that true? Yeah, with all the snow bands that will push in through the night. I would say an inch or two is possible. Now, granted, it's going to be a lot more hit or miss than if we just had one big slug of snow and it was snowing steadily. So, yeah, you get under these bands and you'll pick up an inch pretty quickly. If you get two, you might get two. That's, it's with the scatter type of stuff, that's about the best that I can do for you. If I try to be more precise than that, I feel like that's kind of embellishing the truth of my knowledge, I guess, is what I would say there. So, yeah, still going to be looking for some light snow accumulations for the rest of the day and into the early part of the night. Spokane. Thomas Holloway says, more snow, please. Well, we are going to stop the snow really after the next 12 hours, where our snow chances will basically drop to zero or almost zero by the morning, and then we got to deal with some much rougher issues here. So we're still going to be watching basically for the Palouse and then Spokane out to Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho as well. We're going to be watching for these heavy snow bands to continue, I think, for a good portion of the evening, if not more into the night, where we'll still be getting more snow, especially in North Idaho across the state line. And that's really all the way up and down. And then we're going to have to deal with some of the other issues, and I do want to talk about this briefly while I've got you all here. So here are our temperatures right now. You may notice that some of us are a lot cooler than others. Omak is down to 5, and they've been in the single digits all day in Omak, and we're starting to see that colder air sneak into places like Republic as well in Ferry County, and the single-digit air has moved across Douglas County as well and is creeping closer towards places like Ephrata in central Washington. Now, what we are going to see, friends, is because winds are moving pretty good down the Okanagan Valley, you can see the wind chill is going to become a problem, and the winds are eventually going to flip over tonight around North Idaho and in the Spokane area. Right now, they're out of the southwest. Eventually, they're going to be out of the north and the northeast later tonight, and so by the morning, I think a vast majority of us are going to be in single-digit and sub-zero wind chills as this frigid air that you can see up in Canada starts to work its way down. But, man, that's just nasty stuff in Omak right now, where it feels like minus 16, and it has felt like that through the other day. Gabe McDonald says, yeah, sub-zero possibilities on Wednesday. Not looking forward to that. I'm not either, and yes, in the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area, by Wednesday, we got a pretty good shot at getting below zero in the morning hours. But we'll keep you updated on that as we go day by day here. There is a wind chill advisory, which I do think is going to be slowly expanded by the Weather Service as we head throughout the next few hours, where by the time we get into later tonight, it's going to feel at times like minus 10 to minus 20. So that extends from Omak all the way across Ferry County in the Republic area, places like Wilburn, Nespelem, Ephrata, Moses Lake, Othello, Ritzville. So basically all of kind of the north central Washington area is going to be under this wind chill advisory. And that's not saying that we won't see sub-zero wind chill elsewhere. I'll flip on the forecast model for you here shortly, and you do notice that it is underdoing Omak right now a little bit. So that doesn't bode particularly well, but you can see the wind chill flips over into sub-zero in places like Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, Deer Park, Colville, a lot of areas kind of north of the main Spokane Coeur d'Alene area of the drainage of the Spokane River. Valerie says hot chocolate weather, and Sierra says missing Oklahoma weather right now. Yeah, man, this is rough. This is the real deal right now. So this is the potential wind chills as we go into, this is only about 11 o'clock tonight, so we'll still be on the air and we'll see how close we are to this. But it's that whenever that flip over to winds out of the north in our northern counties occurs, this is going to start to feel pretty chilly pretty quick. And you can see, especially in the West Plains, where that wind's going to pick up a little bit more as we head into the Monday morning. That's where we could see this sub-zero wind chill during the morning hours. So that's when I'm going to be tracking and updating the most tonight, and that's what I'm going to be most concerned about as we get into the morning. So yes, we may not be bottoming out with cold weather until, say, Wednesday, but you need to start dressing warm now, because it is going to be very quick that we're going to flip over to the very frigid weather or at least feeling like frigid weather when you factor in the combination of much colder air and wind together. So that's the issue, friends. This is not going to be the funnest week of weather that we've ever had around here. Whew, that's for sure. Valerie says the horses are tucked in with lots of hay. Take care of your animals. Yeah, that's a big thing as well. You know, if you let the dogs out in the backyard, it might be worth to keep them shut in for the night if they have free roaming. Same with all your other animals as well, because this is going to be the whole week that we're going to be talking about this really, really frigid weather. So things like outdoor pipes or pipes that might not be insulated, you know, the stuff that you might hook up your garden hose to, you got to be aware of that. Whatever you need to do on your property or wherever you live to be ready for that chilly weather, it is a good idea to get it done now. In the meantime, if you have plans for this evening, just be aware that these heavy bands of snow are going to continue, and I think that we're going to continue to see some of this from time to time, perhaps not as heavy as we saw or as we're seeing right now, but we're going to still see snow showers where maybe for 30 minutes it's going to be, whoa, this is crazy, and then it's going to be calm again. If you get under one of these snow bands, wait it out. Don't be in a rush to go anywhere fast, and really that's going to be for the entirety of the week with the chilly, chilly weather going out. Josh says, got all our wood chop ready for power outages. Has Avista said anything? You know, that's a good question. I'll have to check with our reporting staff. Nothing that I'm aware of as far as power outages go. I think the lack of precipitation, certainly not expecting snow or ice when the chilly weather comes in full force as we head into tomorrow. So I think that's going to be helpful with that. Nancy says, stay home. Yeah. You know, if you don't got to go anywhere, the way the weather is, it's either going to be cold and miserable, or like tonight, at times, it is going to be snowy and miserable. So if you ain't got to go anywhere, might as well just cuddle up with the hot chocolate by the fireplace and just have a really nice end to 2021. And yeah, give the DOT crews plenty of room to work. If it's snowing, if it starts snowing really heavy tonight, wait a little bit and then get what you got to get done for this evening. So I'm going to leave you with that, friends. Be on the lookout for heavy snow tonight. Take it easy out there on the roads. And yeah, bring out the heavy coat and the heavy mittens and make sure you've got those ready for tonight and tomorrow morning. This is coming quick. We'll leave you with that. We'll see you at 5, 6, 11 p.m. tonight on KXOI 4 News Now. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray. Have a great rest of your